Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the cabin. I guess you can tell that we have made a new purchase, and primarily the reason for this, the kids and I, we had thought about this last year, but they were too hard to come by because of the supply. But I just happened to be going picking up some feed, and I seen this one. Called my son, and we decided to go ahead and get it. Primarily its purpose is going to be a tool up here at the cabin. It's going to help me get to some places where, now this is a 3,500 pound winch. Of course, I don't think you can pull 3,500 pounds, but I might be able to snake some logs off some areas where I can't really get the tractor to it. Being able to load my tools up in here and basically go to the woods where I'm going to be working, because honestly I make several trips back and forth carrying tools. I do use the bucket on the tractor a lot, but this is just going to make it a lot more handy and easy for me. The other thing too is, like you've seen me carrying feed to the chicken house and the pig pen and the water that I need until I can get a system set up there. That'll make it a lot easier for me to get it up there. And just, in general, running back and forth to my sister's house, I can throw the power units in there. I can charge those up over there. It just makes working around here, I can think of 1,000 uses. It just makes work up here a whole lot easier to do, and I don't have to drive my truck everywhere I go. And of course, depending on what implement I have on the tractor, I might be able to use this. Also, at some point I want to do some fencing, so this will come in really handy for that, especially down there in that bottom, because there's probably 5 acres down there, so I can see this in use down there for that. Just, a lot of different uses that we've decided to go ahead and purchase this as another tool just to help me out up here at the outpost. Well guys, we got that mess cleaned up from the snowstorm, I guess you would say. It's probably been down a month now. I got it cleaned up, got all except one log that's left down there, and got everything carried up. I'm trying to slowly clean up around here because it's been a mess all winter long. But glad Jennifer came up to help me, because it's always nice to have the third hand, you know, like working the new vehicle that we've got, the new four-wheel drive. It's coming in handy already, so we'll be able to use that, you know, for a lot of different things. But she's going to have to get dressed, get ready, and get out of here. She's got to go home and make supper, and I'm going to get some wood carried in, and I'll probably make some supper too. But anyway, I'm going to get everything together and see her off, and then I'll meet you back out here on the next project. we've got some cooler weather on the way, so I figured I'd go ahead and get a little bit of this split up right now before it gets here. You know, we got to maintain what we have, and a lot of times you have to do that yourself, just like when the tractor wouldn't start. And I don't really know anything about engines, but I kind of figured that it might be a fuel problem. And when I talked to them, they said that they don't do visits, that I could either load it up and bring it in, or they could come out and get it. And I said, well, both blades are down, so you'd have trouble trying to load it. And he said, well, you'll have to get them off somehow. So a lot of times you may just have to be your own mechanic, but I had to fix the front tires on this because I had noticed that they weren't actually in line. I was going to film it, but I had to go over to my neighbor's house, and I took my dogs instead of my cameras. What I ended up doing was, when I got this, I noticed that the wheels were kind of like this. So if I straighten one up, that makes the other one way out. So by straightening both of them where they should be, and then I took a straight edge and went from the back tires up front here, they were towed out. Now there's no weight on the front because the engine's in the back, and that was just going to wear the tires off. So I took there's a pin, I'll show you here in just a second, and I basically took the steering mechanism off and I rotated it. Actually ended up having to rotate it 3 times on each one of them, and then that brought it out to where these are now straight with the back. I called down there where I purchased it. They have a mechanic shop there, and he said it wasn't right. He said to bring it in, but that is about 40 miles. So I told him before I loaded it up and took it back for them to fix it and then bring it back out here, I would try it myself. He said that's fine, to let him know. So it all worked out good, and let me see if I can show you a picture of that. So this piece right here, there's a nut on the bottom. I took the nut off. There's a pin that keeps that from that nut from coming off, and then I lifted this up, and like I said, I had to rotate it out in order to bring the front back in, and just basically slid that back down in there, tightened it back up, and put the cotter pin back in it, and the original marks still match. So I am now straight in the front and straight in the back. It wasn't too big a job. It was actually easier than I thought it was going to be, but everything else seems to be fine, working good on it. I just noticed, and it actually drives a little bit better. I noticed that they were towed out just a little bit, and then like I said, I got a straight edge and checked it, and sure enough. So I thought, well, I better do that while it's brand new so that I don't wear those front tires out. Well, anyway, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. My son, my daughter, and myself, we can't thank you for all the support you give us on both channels. Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. We hope that if you're new to this channel, you go check out Outpost Review. That's behind the scenes on what's going on up here. We hope that each and every one of you have a great afternoon. You all take care, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.